99% of men never engage in this, but it's precisely what attracts women. It may seem somewhat overstated initially, but pause for a moment to consider it. How many attractive, self-assured, and financially stable men have you observed who still find it difficult to establish genuine, significant relationships with women? The truth is that it's not concerning looks, money, or class distinctions. Many men overlook the minor yet immensely impactful habits that create an unforgettable individual. These are the delicate subtleties that function below the level of conscious awareness, the silent cues that communicate directly with a woman's emotional essence without her even being aware of it. The most frustrating aspect for many men is that these habits are straightforward. They don't need costly presents, intricate arrangements, or extensive training. They only need consciousness, purpose, and a readiness to break free from the superficial habits that many men get trapped in. Cough softly. Today, I will uncover 5 desires that women secretly wish for, despite seldom voicing them openly. These aren't the typical cliché methods of flirting, yet nuanced psychological cues based on human nature and enduring Stoic principles that can entirely change how a woman perceives you and feels your presence. If you still don't grasp these principles, you're losing out on the kind of attraction that lingers in her mind long after you're gone. And this is the type of connection that really counts, not the temporary curiosity that vanishes as soon as you're gone, but the profound, lasting impact that causes her to think of you weeks and even months afterwards. Before we proceed, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications so you won't miss any insights that could transform everything for you. Let's get started. The initial secret, the influence of touch prior to intimacy. Imagine being on a date. The dialogue is progressing smoothly. You're both laughing and everything feels effortless, yet something still feels absent. There's a slight suggestion that the relationship hasn't completely formed. You accompany her home, message her afterwards, and then silence. No reply. This is the point at which many men err. They think attraction arises solely from words, humor, captivating narratives, or witty dialogue, but human connection is much more intricate than that. Women resonate not just with your words, but with their emotions when in your presence. Your vitality, your aura, and your bodily consciousness. A frequently ignored method to enhance that emotional bond is via touch. Not a harsh or overpowering touch, but one that feels effortless, mild, and considerate. A gentle, non-sexual touch prior to intimacy can entirely change the interaction. A light caress on her arm, a tender hand on the small of her back, or momentarily grasping her hand. Such simple acts often convey more than countless words ever can. In silence, they convey, I value you. You're secure with me. I'm entirely here at this moment. The greatest mistake men make is associating touch with expectations. They connect because they seek something in exchange, and women can perceive that intention instantly. Rather than providing ease, it generates stress. Yet when a man can give touch without anticipating anything in return, he distinguishes himself. He transforms into a person who fosters a sense of security, and this security forms the basis of true attraction. Consider it for a moment. By touching her arm to emphasize a point or gently steering her through a crowd with your hand on her back, you're not merely establishing physical contact. You are conveying that you are a leader, a guardian, and an individual who connects with her essence. It's a quiet language that goes beyond words, and it's one that women have instinctively reacted to for centuries. As Marcus Aurelius stated, cease debating what defines a good man. Become united. Stay composed, grounded, and mindful of yourself. Many men fail to fully grasp this principle, which is why they find it difficult to establish meaningful connections. However, the individuals who grasp it become memorable because they recognize that allure isn't something to be exchanged. It's an experience that starts with the feelings you evoke in her during the tiniest, most subtle moments. The second secret is mastering the art of respectful flirting. A lot of men often end up in one of two extremes. They either flirt excessively to the point of seeming needy, or they restrain themselves to the extent that they fail to express any interest whatsoever. The reality lies somewhere in between. Women appreciate flirting when it comes off as genuine, respectful, and self-assured. It's not about recalling pickup lines or making an effort to show off. It's concerning energy. It's about fostering a laid-back, inviting, and fun environment that unfolds organically, resembling a dance that evokes both ease and intrigue simultaneously. For example, if she states that she enjoys Italian cuisine, many men will just concur and shift to a different subject. Yet a man who comprehends delicate flirting could grin and respond, "Are you confident in that? Perhaps you haven't tried my take on it." It's a straightforward remark, but it lends character and paves the way for a richer, more captivating exchange. One of the most common errors numerous men commit is seeking validation through flirting. They make a playful remark, then nervously wait to find out if she is impressed. Interestingly, that craving for validation is precisely what diminishes attraction. True confidence manifests when you can appreciate the interaction without becoming too fixated on the outcome. Eye contact also has a significant role. Maintain her gaze for a moment, then nonchalantly glance away before focusing back on her eyes. That slight bit of tension sparks curiosity and conveys that you are relaxed, at ease, and completely engaged instead of anxious. This equilibrium is what renders an individual truly appealing. It's the capacity to display interest without appearing needy, to convey desire without desperation, and to foster intrigue without being manipulative. This is where the value of Stoic philosophy shines brightly. The Stoics recognized that genuine confidence originates internally, rooted in an awareness of your value that is not influenced by others' views. Once you embrace that truth, flirting flows naturally as you stop feeling the need to demonstrate anything. You're just revealing your true self to someone else, and that genuineness is attractive. The third secret is the strength of engaged listening. This might seem easy, but in a society where individuals are preoccupied and always anticipating their moment to talk, authentic listening has turned into a valuable and uncommon treasure. When you genuinely pay attention to a woman without interrupting, without quickly proposing solutions, without shifting the focus back to yourself, you are providing her with something that many men rarely offer. You're providing her with your complete, unwavering focus. And that is extremely appealing. Consider the sensation you experience when someone genuinely hears you. When they pose insightful questions indicating they have been attentive. When they recall specifics you brought up before. When they make you feel that what you say truly counts. That emotion is strong, and it forges a connection that transcends mere superficial attraction. Many men hear merely to reply. They are already crafting their next argument while she continues talking. They aren't truly there. They're simply waiting. However, when you listen with true curiosity and understanding, you become someone she can rely on. You transform into a person who perceives her, going beyond her looks to understand her thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Epictetus once stated that we possess 2 ears and 1 mouth, allowing us to hear twice as often as we talk. This timeless knowledge holds greater significance today than at any other time. Women are perpetually inundated with men aiming to discuss their own lives, showcase their accomplishments, or persuade them of a viewpoint. A man who genuinely listens, who values her thoughts, who poses thoughtful questions and retains her responses, is a man who distinguishes himself from others. He turns into the person she wishes to confide in, the one she feels at ease sharing with, the one she recalls when she considers who genuinely gets her. The fourth secret is maintaining emotional balance during uncertain times. There will constantly be instances when events do not unfold as intended. She could arrive later, she may have a different opinion, or her feelings could change suddenly. These moments serve as evaluations, not in a deceitful manner, but as assessments of character. They disclose your true character when situations aren't entirely favorable. Many men respond swiftly. They become anxious, protective, or irritated. They allow the outside circumstances to determine their inner condition. A man with emotional stability acts in a different manner. He stops momentarily. He doesn't allow his emotions to be governed by the situation. He stays composed and replies with precision, instead of acting on instinct. He doesn't shout, doesn't act passive-aggressively, doesn't make her feel like she's treading on thin ice. This tranquil energy fosters a feeling of security and steadiness that women truly value, even if they don't express it verbally. In a world that is ever more chaotic and unpredictable, a person who can stay calm when everything else is in flux is a rare gem. He is a person she can depend on, someone she can believe in to face life's difficulties with poise and resilience. Seneca stated, "Genuine happiness is to relish the present without nervous reliance on the future." This embodies emotional stability, the capacity to remain fully engaged without being disrupted by uncertainty. This trait is incredibly appealing as it indicates you remain unruffled, possess a solid internal foundation, and can be relied upon during challenging times. The fifth and last secret is understanding when to withdraw. This might be the least intuitive principle of all, but it is frequently the most impactful. A man aware of his value does not pursue indefinitely. He doesn't plead for attention or abandon his values merely to maintain someone's presence in his life. He recognizes that his time, energy, and focus hold worth, and he does not offer them freely to those who do not show respect and make an effort in return. When you can take a step back, not due to anger or malice, but for the sake of self-respect, you convey something significant. You express that your sense of value does not rely on others. You express that you lead a fulfilling life, possess your own purpose, set your own goals, and find your own happiness. That autonomy is extremely appealing. Desperation pushes away, while self-respect attracts. This is a basic reality of human psychology. When you demonstrate that you are fine on your own, even without someone specific in your life, the stress vanishes. And within that environment, curiosity develops. She questions why you aren't pursuing. She's curious about what gives you such confidence. That curiosity marks the start of true fascination. Marcus Aurelius stated, "Your control lies with your mind, not with external circumstances." Understand this, and you will discover power. The true secret lies in not requiring a woman's approval to feel whole, but instead opting to share your life with someone out of desire, not obligation.